Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Initiative Order. Most of you know me. I'm Nate, your GM for this lovely adventure, and I'm joined by my usual wonderful cast of characters here, who in a moment I'll have them do their usual, introducing themselves and all that fun stuff. But first, thank yous and shout out to some wonderful people and friends of the channel. First off, thank you to the Initiative Order creative team, Danny, Bree, April, and now Jay Casual, who's just come on board as well, for helping make all these shows possible. Wouldn't be able to do it without you guys, so thank you so much. And a massive thank you to Free League as well, who've been amazing in giving us a working partnership to use all the artwork from the Symbaroum books. They were kind enough to provide us with all the digital assets. So everything you see on the promos and the intros, it's all direct art from the system that they created. So thank you so much, Free League, for those permissions. Next up, thank you to our wonderful sponsors of the channel, starting off with Session Zero Clothing. Session Zero creates some beautiful TTRPG inspired streetwear. And if you use code ORDER at checkout through them, you'll get 15% off your purchase through them. And then we, of course, have the Master Dice crafters themselves, Norse Foundry. They make beautiful gemstone, metal dice, TTRPG accessories. If you use code TIO15 at checkout, you'll get 15% off your order through them. And of course, we have our wonderful GotDM, Mr. Ray of Roaming Player Gear, who has crafted this beautiful dice tower, dice vault combo. If you go to the website, Gear, and use code Carnaby20 at checkout, you get 20% off that dice tower there. And a shout out to Mithril Armory. They've been kind enough to provide us with giveaways for our streams. We're on a bit of a break right now as trying to catch up on some stuff, but thank you. Looking forward to working with them in the future. And a couple more things I want to mention. We do have a merch store now where you can purchase some amazing merchandise featuring some of our characters from our various shows, including a beautiful Nrobso t-shirt. So give that a check out if you want. And I also want to mention we do have a coffee set up for these lovely individuals here. So if you feel so inclined to tip them for donating their time and energy into the show, that'd be absolutely wonderful. The coffee will be linked down in the chat below, as well as on our info page through our Twitch channel here. And finally, I want to mention that we are proud to be ambassadors for Jaspers Game Day this year. They are an incredible foundation raising money for suicide awareness, suicide prevention through gaming. It's an incredible foundation. Check them out, help out if you can, or at least spread the message if you're able to. And it's just wonderful work that they're doing. I think that's all that I have. I hope. I'm going to shut up for a moment and let these wonderful people do what they do. So let's start off with Christine.
Hi everybody, I'm Christine, also known as Slumberjane, and I play Laerke. You can just find me here on Twitch at slumberjane.ttv.
Alright, and let's move on to Coral, please.
Hello friends, my name is Coral Reefer. You can find me here on the Twitches at twitch.tv/queerventuretime. We're doing all sorts of things, having fun, talking about shit, and we just made a raid video that I'm very excited about, so LOL, raid me so I can show it off, because it's really funny.
Amazing. All right, let's move on to Leroy, please.
Hey everybody, I am Lee Royal on social media. I am Royalty No Y, and I am a variety streamer and a variety cosplayer. A lot of times you can catch me on Instagram or Twitter. Currently, I am working on writing a script for my third Spider-Man fan film, so check it out later.
All righty, and let's go over to Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Kelsey, and you can find me on social media under Tombs and Tomes.
Beautiful. And of course, last but certainly not least, Keith.
Hi, everybody. I'm Keith. You can find me on IG. I am not Kevin Bacon. Here on Twitch, Alohoy808. I play Kovaan in this amazing new RPG that I'm still learning about.
We're all learning together. It's an experience. Alrighty, and with that, if our wonderful tech overlord, aka Danny, would be so kind as to roll that beautiful intro for us, and we'll be right back in just a few moments. See you soon. And welcome back. So, as usual, who would like to fill us in on what happened last time?
All right, so last time on Symbaroum, the adventurers started by trying to get more of a lead on the things happening on the top floor of the saloons of Symbaroum. However, through a pretty hilarious chain of events, none of that came to fruition, but what did come to fruition is that Nrobso was reunited with his best long-term employee for years, Kranko, and ended up employing Kranko and talking to Kranko about potentially finding us jobs. Later that night, when we stayed at our inn, Kranko actually appeared and told us about a job for hire. We were given a letter with no name, but it seemed to be of utmost importance, asking us to meet at Fern Tower to discuss some strange going on. When we got there, we met a woman, very nervous, wouldn't reveal her name, and kept telling us ominous things about some power awakening which would kill hundreds and possibly destroy the entire hold. Apparently, her contacts were willing to pay a mighty price. Before we could learn too much more, the bell of Northgate began to ring outside, and we heard crowds running and screaming. With one last feeble sentence, the woman told us that the darkness was coming, and we left her to go and see what was going on. Outside, in Toad Square, we ran into the Queen's Guard and Balmello, and across the gates we saw these giant creatures with giant horns that looked like buffalo called colossi, and they were carrying Carvosti witches on their backs. After a brief conversation, which Laerke was able to have with them, we learned that they wanted to come inside and figure out whether or not the well had awoken in Symbaroum. And that's where we start.
Excellent. And as this was happening, the ground below your feet began to rumble. You saw buildings begin to sink into the ground. And I believe Aggie, Nrobso, and Laerke, you three were all running back towards the town while Keen and Kovaan went to speak to the witches to try to convince them to come in as well. And if I remember correctly, Keen, you rolled a natural 1 on your last persuasion roll. Excellent. So we'll come back to that in a moment. Within the gates, Nrobso, Aggie, and Laerke, as you're running back through, you're just immediately hit with clouds of dust and debris. You just see silhouettes of individuals running towards you, scattering in all different directions. Adults, children, trying to figure out which way to go as this dust is just getting thicker and thicker as you're moving towards the noise. Continuing to walk through, you guys see these shadowy creatures. 2 different ones, both of them humanoid, some of them wearing these silver collars around their necks. And those with the collars, their flesh is just this dark black. The muscle tissue is like twisted just around their arms and limbs. They have these bones jutting out of their forearms as they're just charging, grabbing people and dragging them farther into the dust. Those who put up a fight are just knocked to the ground and just attacked and annihilated viciously, strike after strike. The other individuals that you see, still humanoid, bits of flesh still present on their faces, but a lot of them still covered in just these nasty black spots just pulling through their skin and their clothing. Everybody who's running in that direction, give me a vigilance check if you would.
That 1 for Lark.
Perfect.
I failed pretty miserably.
A 2, okay. So Laerke and Nrobso, as you're moving through this area, the 2 of you are able to kind of make out that the ones without the collars seem to be a bit more aware of themselves, and they seem to be commanding the other ones, ordering them to attack and to drag people farther into the dust. Now, the 3 of you, as you're moving through this area, I need to know, are you making a straight line through, or are you trying to make your way through the sides, working through the buildings? How are you approaching this area?
I think if Laerke and Agithe and Nrobso have been working together for a really long time, I feel like Laerke would go straight for them as the primary attacker to draw attention, basically.
Nrobso and Aggie?
Aggie 100% would be approaching from the side, doing the best that she can to blend in with the crowd. I imagine her definitely not making a beeline, but instead, sidestepping through all of the people, trying to stay directly in the thick of it, and find a place of cover to observe.
Okay. And Nrobso?
Nrobso takes Laerke's lead and follows.
Okay. So I'm going to pull a goddamn Ray move here, and I'm just going to ask confirmation from Laerke and Nrobso. You 2 are making a beeline straight for this noise, and Aggie, you're moving off to the side. Okay. Aggie, Go ahead and give me a stealth check if you would.
Oh, that just barely makes it. That is a 13 out of 14.
Okay, perfect. So as people are running and shoving, screaming, you're able to kind of slither your way in between them, moving off to a building where it looks like the doorway has almost been ripped off the hinge, but you kind of poke your head in, and you don't appear to see anything in this building immediately, but you can kind of duck in here and peek through the windows and just keep an eye on everything. Laerke and Nrobso, as you 2 are beelining it through the streets, again, you just see more and more of these silhouettes, these large humanoid creatures just grabbing anybody they can, adults, children, and just pulling them left and right. As you're moving through, you see kind of off to the right-hand side in an alleyway, you see this woman with a broomstick fighting off 2 of these creatures. She's standing over what appears to be a corpse at her feet. And standing next to her, you see another young Ambrian man who's trying to grab her and pull her away, but hanging off of him, you see a few children kind of tugging at his legs as well. That's kind of off to the right-hand side, or you continue moving straight towards the main noise. What would you two like to do?
I think I'll go for whoever's being attacked closest to me. So if those going for the nearest closest monster.
Okay.
So if that's that family, then that's where she's headed.
Okay, you're heading that direction, Nrobso?
Yeah, Nrobso wants to. You said the kids are in danger too?
The kids they're all kind of behind this woman. The kids are kind of tugging at this individual. You would assume it's probably their father, trying to get him to run and move. But as it stands, they're not in direct line of the creature's attacks. There's a couple adults in between them.
Then no, I still follow Laerke.
Okay, so the two of you are going to take on those two creatures there. What are your guys' quick scores?
13.
15.
Beautiful. So
Aggie would be keeping an eye on this, and if Laerke and Nrobso she does not want to be too far away from her.
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
If they're running off in a direction, she will sneakily follow behind at a little bit of a distance, but nothing huge.
Okay, so yeah, peering through your window, you see the two of them kind of duck off into an alleyway off to the right-hand side. So if you want to try to move, so you can kind of keep that line of sight, give me another stealth check if you would.
That one's a no.
That one's a no. Okay, so you kind of begin climbing through the window and trying to get out of this building, but you step on just this broken glass at your feet, just making this loud, just shattering noise below you. Looking about, thankfully there's so much chaos going on right now that no beasts seem to be looking at you directly. They're still just grabbing the closest individuals that they can and just dragging them. Back outside, Kovaan and Keen, with your natural one, speaking to Gadramon, inviting him within the walls. You see him climb down from his colossus. It takes him a few moments as this creature is just towering over the two of you. And as he lands, he just kind of looks towards you, Keen. All right. Look, my companion will wait out here with the beasts, but I'll come in with you.
Delightful.
Lead the way.
We shall. Kovaan
right.
is a careful walker. It'll give us a good perspective on what's ahead. And I'm going to start leading us in.
Okay. So the three of you begin making your way towards the gates. And as you're approaching, you just see that dust cloud kind of pouring out of the gates out into this open area. And walking through the dust cloud, you see this tall silhouette of an individual stepping through a familiar size. As his face and details become more clear through the dust, you see none other than Bomelo standing there, flanked by a couple of his black cloaks, just staring, waiting for the three of you to approach.
I'm gonna
Hello,
whisper.
Bomelo.
I'm gonna whisper to Gadramon. This one, consider him not a fan of our kind.
I've seen those cloaks before. Proceed with caution. And as the three of you approach, you see Bomelo standing there, his hand just kind of resting on the hilt of his sword. Well, why am I not surprised to see the two witches trying to sneak in another?
Bomelo, you seem surprisingly calm and surprisingly present away from the face of battle.
I've got my own men in there keeping an eye on things. They know how to contact me should it get out of hand.
Do you not think it's out of hand?
Well, until we know what we're dealing with, we're not really sure.
Well, do you find it perhaps of the utmost importance to give us safe passage so that we may investigate things of special natures going on?
what I find important here right now is following the mayor's orders. And the mayor said no outsiders are to come in without his written permission.
Then perhaps you can go send word to the mayor.
I believe Captain Marvello is already on that task. So we can all simply wait here for him to return. Unless you wish to do this a different way.
If by different way, do you mean potentially our strongest and most capable man taking care of what's going on in the city? Is that the other way?
Something like that.
Well, Kovaan, what would you like to do?
You said towers and stuff are starting to fall into that hole. Is that what you mentioned before?
Correct. Yeah. So looking through the gates, kind of off towards the eastern side, you begin to see buildings just sink down into the ground.
So I kind of look towards where everything's fallen apart, and I mentioned to Balmello, the orders of the mayor were given before this, and I point out the fact that that section of the city, it looks like that portion of the city will be lost by the time your men and the mayor's men figure out that this is beyond probably your expertise.
So you expect me to just trust an outside witch to come into this hold? And how are you so certain?
We have gained favor with the mayor. We figured out, along with you, the problem that we mutually figured out.
Also, Balmello, we don't expect you to do any such thing. What we expect you to do is what you always do, which is act with the most firm intellectual vigor on your shoulders when making decisions.
And right now I'm deciding not to let this witch in. How are the two of you so certain that these two aren't here to simply extract whatever's happening in there? Perhaps they're the ones that called upon this darkness. That bell hasn't rang in many years. Suddenly these two show up and these events begin to happen. How are you two so certain they have no hand in this?
I think you'll find, unless Kovaan would like to speak. Would you like to speak first, Kovaan?
If they are this powerful to do this from where they came from, I don't think there's anyone that would have stopped them previously. So why instigate now?
Give me a persuasion roll when you have a chance, Kovaan, and I will give you I'll give you a +3 to your base as you and Keen are both kind of having this conversation with Balmello.
Okay.
Back over inside, Laerke and Nrobso. Laerke, you have the first move as you have this woman kind of fighting off these two beasts with this broomstick. What would you like to do?
Just run up behind them and take a swing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me your attack roll, which I believe for your weapons is just going to be an accurate test here.
All of my attacks use strong.
Strong. Okay, perfect. Even better. And luckily, these things have no armor on, so you get a +5 to your base roll, to your base attribute.
When you say +5, so
what is your strong score?
15.
15. So now it's a 20. So basically, that means you cannot fail this roll.
Yeah. Okay. I got a 8.
An 8. Oh yeah, that definitely hit. So as you're charging through, what does it look like as you have your weapon out and you just take your swing towards this creature?
Yeah. So as Laerke is running towards them, she'll pop one hand into her claw and reach up with the other hammer and just come down real hard with her crow's beak hammer.
All right.
If possible, she'd like to try to catch them both, but I don't know how that's going to play out.
Unfortunately, they're kind of spread out just so slightly to where you couldn't quite hit them both with your hammer coming through. But go ahead and roll the damage for that attack if you would.
Nine.
9 points. Okay. Excellent. So as you swing your hammer through, this creature falls down onto the ground. It's currently prone. You can take another attack, or you can do another free action if you wish. What would you like to do at this time?
Yeah, I actually have twin attack, so I'll just hit the same one down.
Okay, perfect. Make that attack roll.
13.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage on that.
5.
Okay, so as this creature is laying on the ground, you're standing over it with your hammer out. How do you take this thing out?
I'm gonna go extra gruesome and use the crow beak end of the hammer and just like smash it down into the skull of the creature.
All right, so taking the crow's beak end of your hammer, kind of lining up right with its eye, you just drill your hammer right down into its socket, and you feel your hammer just pierce all the way through the skull, striking into the cobblestone below this body. You just rip it back out. Nrobso, it is your go.
So as Laerke is striking this monster down, I'm running up behind Laerke to jump off of her back and to attack the second one.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and start off by giving me a quick check here to see how gracefully you leap off of Laerke here.
12 out of 15.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, what does it look like as you're climbing up Laerke? You see Laerke kind of hunched over, bringing her hammer down. You see your opportunity. Do you do any cool tricks as you're leaping up and flying?
Oh, for sure. I run up and right off of the back, I do a B twist, which is basically like my body's horizontal and I'm spinning over my own shoulder, and I'm bringing the axe down with my right hand, right on top of the second monster's face.
Okay, perfect. So give me an attack roll. I believe it's an accurate for yours, unless you have a different trait that lets you attack.
No, you're right.
Okay, and you'll have a +5 to your base attribute as well, because this thing has no armor on it whatsoever.
That's a 9.
Yeah, that'll definitely work. So go ahead and roll the damage on that.
And the damage, that is a 9.
9 points of damage. Okay, so slicing down through this thing's face, you see it kind of stumbling. You can try to push it over to knock it prone, or you can attack again. What would you like to do?
I will also use twin attack.
Go for it. Make that second attack.
A nat 1.
Oh, geez. Okay, so we'll call that a critical attack. So go ahead, and I don't know if there are specific rules for this, to be completely honest. So what we'll do is I'm going to treat it like 5e, and we'll just go double dice damage on it. So whatever your damage is, roll it twice.
That is a 6.
6 points. Okay. So you do your B twist, bringing down your first axe, slicing right through this thing's face. As you come up with your second axe, what does it look like as you take this creature down?
I'm basically just spinning around and chopping right at its ankles, at the Achilles heel to be more specific, just right in the back of it, just slicing it open.
Oh man, all right, I like it. So after like just peeling back half of its face with that first swipe, landing, striking right into this thing's heel, it just screeches out in pain as it just kind of begins to shrivel and tumble over backwards, completely lifeless. You see the woman standing there, just shock on her face, just all the color drained from her skin. She just kind of looks at both of you and just shaking. Thank you. And you see her just drop her broomstick, scoop up a couple of the kids, and the father scoops up the other children, and they all just begin booking it out of the alleyway, away from everything. Back over here with Kovaan and Keen, Balmello just kind of looks towards you, hearing the commotion getting a bit louder. Well, suppose there's no more point in wasting time here. Just know that should any of you make one move in the wrong direction, I'll make sure you're well taken care of. He just kind of steps to the side.
As I would expect.
And the three of you enter into the hold. Now I ask the three of you, are you making a beeline or are you trying to duck into the sides?
Kovaan is slower. So Kovaan, what are you going to try and do?
I'm not as kick-ass as Aggie, so I would kind of be more of the cautious type, but still trying to keep up with you and Gadramon.
Well, obviously I'm going to keep pace with my coven member. So I have I'm by Kovaan and I'm leading. We're going to stay a little bit off to the side, but I'm going to be trying to watch as much as possible. And I'm going to try and, for a while, stay closer in range of Balmello because I'm assuming he's going to take a large brunt of the combat for a while.
Okay, so just confirmation, you're trying to sneak around while trying to keep in proximity to Balmello. Yes?
Yes, but I am not married to the idea of staying in proximity of Balmello.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and give me stealth checks if you would.
I mean, who would be married to that idea?
And if one of you could also roll one for Gadramon as well.
And I'm so sorry, for stealth, which attribute is stealth?
Oh, I apologize, discreet.
Discreet.
Discreet. I got a 10 out of 10.
So you
for
succeed.
that.
Yep.
Okay, and then Gadramon's getting a 13.
Okay.
I did not succeed.
You did not succeed. Okay. So Keen, as you're kind of leading the way, you were just kind of stepping over these bits of board and glass. But behind you, you hear Kovaan just kind of every step, his staff is just crunching into every piece of broken glass he can find. And Gadramon behind you, he's got kind of these bones hanging off of his belt, and they're just rattling and clanging together as you're walking through. And you see Balmello just kind of stop and stare as he sees the three of you kind of heading towards the building and trying to stay out of line of sight. And you see him just get this shit-eating grin on his face as he stares at you for a moment before drawing his sword and running into the dust.
I just do this to him.
If everybody could give me vigilance checks at this time, please.
Okay. I got a 2 out of 7.
Okay.
9 out of 9.
Okay.
Oh, is this everybody?
Everybody, yep.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just in that scene, everybody. Okay, sorry. Okay.
5 out of 12.
I also got a 12 and failed.
No. I got a 5 out of 12.
I got a 15 out of 11, so it's a no.
Oof. Okay, so I believe
My vigilance checks are not doing it today. Aggie is having a day where she's just very unaware.
Over it already. So we had Nrobso, Kovaan, and Keen. Did you succeed as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So 3 successes. So as you're moving through the dusty areas, kind of trying to keep an eye out for your companions and everything that's going on, you just see more and more of these creatures. At this point, they're climbing up the sides of the buildings and just tearing into the rooftops, trying to enter in any way that they can. Nrobso, from where you're at, looking up at one of the rooftops, you see one of these creatures fighting what appears to be the silhouette of a goblin. And in that goblin's hand, you see him holding a hammer and what appears to be a sharpened garden spade, just swinging rapidly towards this creature. Unfortunately, the creature kind of knocks the weapons out of the goblin's hand and picks him up and just yeets him across the roof. He just goes flying off into the dust, tumbling down the road. After looking at that, though, you kind of glance around and you see the 3 silhouettes approaching you, and you see that it is Keen, Kovaan, as well as this new individual with them as well. Any actions from the groups at this time?
Am I close to that goblin still?
He got yeeted off a roof farther back towards the sinkhole. So at this time, you're not sure where he tumbled off to.
Oh, I hope that wasn't Cranko.
I mean, as soon as Nrobso took out the second creature, Laerke probably dashed out of the alley to the next closest one.
Okay.
In the direction towards the sinkhole.
Perfect. So yeah, you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Aggie definitely saw the fucking badassery of her comrades, and but you said that woman was standing over a corpse, right?
Correct. It looked like she was standing over a dead body.
Aggie is going to immediately run over and check that out and see what information she can glean from it.
Okay, sure. Give me a cunning check if you would.
13 out of 15.
13 out of 15. Perfect. So yeah, looking down, this is an older woman, probably in her 70s, mid 70s, early 80s. Looking at her body itself, you see the dress she's wearing has been torn and tattered in places, stained with blood. You can see that it almost looks like this person was just knocked down and stabbed repeatedly by one of these creatures.
Well, that sucks. Okay, great. Then yeah, there's no time for chat. Aggie makes sure to be within healing distance of Laerke. And yeah, she wants to be close enough that she can be considered in initiative, but far enough away that people have to run to her in initiative.
Fair enough. All right. So at this point,
I also want to look at Aggie and I go, Aggie, can you poison my weapons, please?
Aggie looks back at you, and she shakes her head and says, "I'm so sorry, Nrobso, but right now, it looks like you're going to have to rely on your expertise. I need something to defend myself if things get too hairy."
And then I look down at my weapons. I go, "Is this how Nrobso dies?"
Looking at your last victim, I have faith that it is not.
You are correct. And I make my actions towards Laerke.
all right. So at this point, if I could get Kovaan, Keen, and Aggie, what are your quick scores? Just so we can get those out of the way here.
Just like our regular score normally?
Correct, yes.
9. I have a 9.
10.
Is this for calculating initiative?
It is, yes.
In that case, it's a 15.
15 for your cunning, yes?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Excellent. So as you're all kind of gathered together, Laerke, you said you're moving out into the street, moving towards the next creatures that you see. And as you step out into the area, you see a couple of younger men just running as quickly as they can. They look to be maybe in their teens. One of them stumbles over as behind him you see a couple of these large creatures just chasing them down. You see the ones on the ground, he kind of rolls over, panic on his face as this creature is reaching down towards him. Is there anything you would like to attempt to do in this moment?
Yeah, as I'm running towards them, I'd like to throw my crow's beak.
Gonna throw your crow's beak at him. Excellent. Okay. Go ahead and give me an accurate check here.
Laerke's literally Laerke and Nrobso's visuals right now are just giving me so much life. Like imagining this big fucking crow's mast, like running through. There's this dude that gets knocked down, and she's like, "No, you don't." Hucks this giant. Oh God, this is so hot.
You said accurate, right?
An accuracy check, yes, please.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. All right. So as you're running now, are you just like throwing this mid-run, or are you like running out, planning yourself, and chucking this? What does it look like?
Well, so Laerke was looking for the closest monster, sees this thing. She's already running towards the hole. So this happens in her path, where this guy gets knocked down. He's going, so she's already running, throws it. The intent is to stick it, grab it on the way past, and let Nrobso finish him off behind her.
Ooh, okay, excellent. So go ahead and roll the damage on that for me.
Uh, 7.
7 points, excellent. Perfect. All right, so yeah, you go charging through, your axe sticks into this creature, and you continue moving towards it, and on your next round, you can pull it out and continue moving on. At this point, though, we will go to the top of the order here with Nrobso. At this point, you've got Laerke throwing her axe at these two creatures. Actions from you at this time.
So can I the one that has the crow's beak stuck in, well, where is it stuck? Like its chest or something?
It kind of like stuck into its side, like near its rib cage.
Okay, I want to run and grab the handle and help drive it the rest of the way.
Okay. For this, we'll say give me a strong check on this one.
Okay, yeah. 16 out of 16. Good thing we leveled up.
Yeah, that just succeeds. So you grab this hammer and you drag it deeper into this creature. Laerke, what is the damage on your hammer? What kind of die is it?
Oh, it's a D8 plus
D8,
1.
okay. Nrobso, go ahead and roll the D8 for me.
Oops. That is a 5 with the +1.
Okay, so as you get your grip on this hammer, driving it through, what does it look like as you take out this creature?
So, as I grab the hammer, and it's like a, again, the 4'2" goblin is just spinning around, almost like I'm doing the shot put move in track and field. Like I'm just grabbing the hand and just spinning it to go all the way through. And then if there is a second one around, I'm going to throw that hammer towards the very next one so that Laerke can do the basically the same thing, a double up. And that would be my twin attack move. So the first attack was the one that drive through it, and then the twin attack to carry it over is throwing this other hammer.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you rip through this thing, and this creature just shrieks out in pain as its guts and entrails just kind of pour out. All over this poor young dude is just laying on the ground, who's just like, oh God.
Oh, my computer's freaking out with this stream. But Aggie is going to come around and try to.
You see it kind of stop for a moment and kind of glance around before refocusing right down on this kid on the ground here. It appears he has not noticed you.
Stunning. And then I am going to try to stabby stab.
Okay, give me a stabby stab roll.
Nope, that's a big pile of nope. That's nat 20.
Oh, okay. So
damn it, Aggie tries to use her new cool abilities and royally fails.
So as you go to stab up towards this creature, you kind of step forward and you just hear this loud crunch underneath your foot as you look down, and you just realize you stepped on this large piece of glass out in the street as this creature quickly, like just in the blink of an eye, is now facing in your direction and quickly sidesteps out of the way. And as it steps over to the side, it takes this large protruding bone claw coming out of its forearm, and it tries to stab right into your ribcage, Aggie. So go ahead and give me a defense roll, but your defense roll will be at a -1 for this.
All right, well, let's test the other cool new thing that Aggie got. And that's also a no.
Okay. So as you go to stab in,
Aggie tries to do one cool thing
this
and
creature
gets reminded that she is no.
just in the blink of an eye is suddenly standing right beside you as you feel this tip just stabbing right into your chest or into your side, trying to get up between your ribs.
Just the tip.
And roll me your armor roll, please.
Look, you couldn't.
I know it's fair.
It was right there. All right. Well, shit. I think this is the first time I've had to do this. Why? Because usually I'm smarter. Okay. Where's my, there we go. That's the one I want. All right. That's a 3.
3 points. Okay. So luckily your armor is able to kind of withstand some of the blow, but it still pierces through, and you take 5 points of damage as this bone claw pierces through up into your skin. And the
5?
5 points of damage.
Fuck me!
What's your hit point maximum? What's your toughness score?
It's not. No, it's not. It's not the best. We just took out half of my HP.
So that puts you at your threshold then?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. What's the pain threshold?
It's
mean?
half of your toughness score.
Okay, so so my pain threshold is 3. Does that mean anytime I get hit with an attack over 3, or does that mean when I get down to 3 HP?
When you get down to 3.
Okay, my toughness is at 5 out of 10 right now.
Okay. So you're still okay at this point.
Yes, I'm understanding that correctly.
Yeah, as long as you're not at your threshold, correct? Your threshold you said is 3?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
My pain threshold is 3.
Okay, so you're still standing. This creature doesn't get to do anything fun at this time, unfortunately. As it kind of pulls back, and you are just you feel your robes begin to soak in that spot as it just gets warm, and you see that blood, you feel it pouring out of your side. Next up, though, it is Kovaan.
Well,
Action from you.
So did I see Aggie get kind of ganked?
Oh yeah.
How many of these things can I see?
At this point, you just see the one.
Well, I just see the one, and that's enough that I'm going to turn away from Keen and Gattermon, and I look over and see Aggie just get ganked by this thing, and her and I are kind of the same as far as toughness, so I feel it in my soul. I look over real quick, and I am going to use one of my powers, Entangling Vines.
Okay.
The only difference is I was asking if there's more creatures around, because if I succeed, I guess it just keeps going until I fail.
Gotcha. Yeah, so keeping an eye. So knowing that, we'll say if more creatures begin to appear in the proximity, you can easily move your vines towards them as soon as they pop up.
Okay.
So go ahead. And what is the wording for Entangling Vines here?
So it says exactly. Let's see here. By rolling a successful resolute test, the mystic calls forth entangling vines or roots from out of the earth and can ensnare an enemy.
Okay, perfect. So it's going to be This thing has a quickness of 0, so there's no modifier to it. This is just a straight resolute test here for you. So go ahead and roll your d20.
Sweet. And that was one of the things I also upgraded because I only did the above novice for 2 things, and with the extra 10, I bumped my resolute to one up. So now it's a 16.
Ooh,
Let's go.
really?
Yes. So I look over at Aggie and I clench my fists, and these vines are going to come up from the bottom again and start encircling the creature.
All right, perfect.
I rolled a 10 out of 16.
Yeah, so easy enough. Aggie, as this creature's just kind of grinning down towards you, all of a sudden see these vines popping up out of the ground and just ensnaring this creature. As it's trying to reel back and going for another hit, these vines just tangle around its wrist, and it's currently just stuck trying to break through. Is there any damage from the vines, or just kind of ensnaring for
No damage. It's ensnared, and I have to roll a resolute strong test the following turn to see if
it's trying to break free. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. With that, we are on to Kinlegelana. What would you like to do?
All right. So, is there a creature? I know that one just got entangled in vines, but is there a creature that is still thrashing about free, relatively in front of me?
From what you can see at this point, no. It just appears to be the one in this area.
Delightful. Okay, in that case, instead, I'm going to create my storm arrows, and I'm going to shoot one at the one that got entangled in the vines.
Okay, perfect. So what is the damage on your storm arrows? Because I know that's just an auto hit.
Let's see. It is 1d6.
1d6. Go ahead and roll that.
5.
5 points. Okay. So yeah, what do your storm arrows look like as you're summing them around you?
So as they start to swirl around me, it's almost like that fraying black vapor is twisting up, creating these arrows. And then like this, like almost eerie halo of like white energy is just coming from the tips, and they shoot out.
All right. Firing these things through, they go right in between Kovan's vine, striking right into this creature's chest as it just shrieks out in pain. As you see this just cackling arcane energy just kind of surround it for a moment as this arrow hits and dissipates around it. It's looking a little rough, but we are back to the top with Nrobso. What would you like to do?
I know I probably should have mentioned this earlier. Did my twin attack on the one that I was throwing the hammer to, did that go into effect?
Oh, I apologize. We did not roll that. So go ahead. Yeah, give me an accurate roll for your hammer toss there. My bad. I'm so sorry.
Because like you started going, I was like, oh no, he got too descriptive, and I don't know if this is the same one that I'm attacking. That accurate is a 3/14.
Okay, so yeah, go and roll the damage for your hammer there.
That would be Laerke's hammer.
Laerke's hammer. Okay, yeah, go and roll the D8 for it then.
That was a 3 + 1. Yeah, so 4.
4 points. Okay. So yeah, that took effect there in that first round. We'll say after taking out that other one, that hammer came, smacked this thing in the back of the head, and then these vines came up entangling it. So now it is back to the top of your turn with your full actions. What would you like to do?
And that's the only one that's presently the most dangerous right now.
Like that's the only one you see in this immediate area. It's struggling to get out of these vines. It's basically held down in place at this moment and is just bleeding out.
Then in which case, yeah, another round of a twin attack. I'm gonna go to it with my axe this time.
Okay.
And you said there was a fist that was caught right before hitting Agithe.
Correct. Yeah, it's kind of got one arm up in the air, reeled back, and it's got like this giant bone claw sticking out of it.
Yeah, I'm looking to chop that clean off.
Chop its claw off. Okay. Give me an attack roll here. And you'll still have a +5 to your base attribute as this thing's completely unarmored here.
Then that's 11 out of 19.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage there.
That is another 9.
Okay, so as this creature is tangled, held in place, you're coming at it. What does it look like as you take this thing down?
Did Aggie get a +5?
For your stiletto?
Yeah.
Yeah, did I not mention that? You should have.
Because if Aggie got a +5, then a nat 20 wouldn't have mattered, because then it would have been 20 out of 20.
Oh, good to know for the future. Okay.
Oh boy.
So we'll call this one a team effort with the stiletto and the axe coming through. How do you two dispatch this creature here?
I'm just more worried about my character bleeding out. It's fine if I miss.
It's another heroic, like He-Man move with axe straight up and down, slicing like right the arm, that arm right off, and it's like in front of Agithe still, so it's like right here, and you just see the arm just slide down to the ground,
Sliding down off these vines, and you see just blood spurting out of this creature's arm, blood mixed with just this nasty black ichor as this thing just goes limp in these vines. Kovaan, you can see that as your vines are holding this thing tight, it just goes lifeless after Nrobso's final swing there. At this point, both creatures are dead. In the immediate vicinity, you don't see anything else. You see the two young individuals kind of helping each other up, and they both just kind of look at you shaking and just continue running towards the front gates. Everybody, if you'd be so kind as to make me vigilance checks.
Aggie is much too doubled over in pain to give a fuck.
Yeah, I
that's
failed.
a fail as well.
Yeah, I failed.
Fail. That was a fail.
I also failed. I like to think that I was too busy trying to wrap the bone claw with the vines from Kovaan to make like another a different form of a dagger. Was it just one claw extending out?
Yeah, it was one claw extending out that you were able to slice through.
I want to wrap it in a way to where I don't touch any of that claw moment.
Okay, yeah, that's easy enough.
in case it's corrupted.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that's easy enough for you to take some sort of fabric and just wrap up that bone for now.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna wrap up Agithe.
Yeah, can Aggie like medicus herself?
This is why
I'll assist her with wrapping.
This is why I failed the vigilance with my 13 for 12, because I was like, ooh, another potential weapon.
Yeah, Aggie is going to use an herbal cure on this for 3 more toughness.
All right. So Laerke and Aggie both kind of patching you up over there. Nrobso fiddling with this bone.
Laerke, as you're assisting Aggie with this, you just very clearly hear her muttering to you under her breath, "I am much too old for this bullshit."
And as you're all standing here, the dust is still just filling this air. It doesn't seem to be settling down at all. You just hear the screams of people still running. Around you, you do see various townsguard kind of grabbing crates and barrels and rushing them towards this sinkhole. And at this point, you're all probably about 60 or so feet away, and looking down the road. you see just the ground has completely imploded, sucking down an entire block of buildings with it. Up ahead, you see a couple of more of these creatures as they're just grabbing people and throwing them down into the sinkhole itself. And between you all and the sinkhole, you see guards just grabbing crates, barrels, ladders, bits of wood, as they're just trying to create a barricade where they can. You see individuals still running from that area, stumbling over one another, trying to climb over this barricade, getting away from whatever's happening at this sinkhole. And it's at this time, you all hear just this loud, piercing shriek coming out from within the hole itself. And I need everybody to give me a strong check, if you would.
Why?
3 out of 15 for Laerke.
Okay.
13 out of 16.
Okay.
2 out of 5.
Ooh, excellent.
11 out of 10. Missed
Ooh.
it by that much.
All right, and Aggie?
Aggie is having a very bad day.
Okay. Aggie and Kovaan, I need the two of you to each roll a d4 for me.
Why? No, you don't.
I do. I'm so sorry.
How dare? How dare? Fuck me, and it's a 4.
Same.
Okay. So, as
Hi,
the
friends.
shriek pierces through the air, Laerke, Keen, and Nrobso, you're all able to kind of shake it off, but Kovaan and Aggie, you feel your eardrums just get to the point of like just popping and bursting. You each take 4 points of damage to your toughness. And the rest of you,
Is this how Aggie dies?
the rest of you see Aggie and Kovaan just kind of grip the sides of their head, almost doubling over onto the ground. And you see the same with individuals who are trying to climb over this barricade. They're all just kind of grabbing onto their heads. Some of them you see bits of blood dripping from their ears as they're just trying to book it as far away from this area as they can. And it's at this time you hear just the sound of claws on rock and rubble. You hear heavy footsteps. You see the town's guards, some of them rushing towards the sinkhole. As you see up ahead in the distance through the dust cloud, more silhouettes appearing, coming out of the sinkhole. You see 2 creatures, turns into 4, turns into 5. You see a total of about 7 creatures coming out of this sinkhole, making their way towards the barrier that's between you and them. 2 of them you see wearing those collars. You see 3 of them that are more in that humanoid form with their skin still intact. And then beyond them, you see another larger creature, this one actually holding a large battle axe in 2 hands, just staring towards you all as it just yells and lets out another shriek and points in your direction. As these creatures begin running towards you, clambering over this barricade. We're going to go ahead and jump to a quick break. So, thank you all so much for sticking with us this far. And
Thank you
go
for the new
hydrate,
poll,
do what
friends.
you got to do. Grab a quick bite. And
Everybody vote in the poll while we're away.
we will see what happens when we return. So we'll see you all back here in about 10-15 minutes. Thanks for sticking around. See you soon. And welcome back, everybody. So, a few moments ago, where we left off, you had these beasts clamoring over this barricade of crates and barrels, and you see a couple of the guards kind of try to rush up with their swords drawn, but the largest one in the back kind of grabs the guard by its collar and just chucks him back towards the sinkhole. It's at this time, Kovaan and Keen especially, you see Gadramon, as he's kind of been hanging back with you, looks towards the barricade, looks towards these creatures. He just kind of leans towards you, Kovaan, says, keep him distracted. I'm going to try to get a better look at the hole.
I give a quizzical look to Keen and okay.
Do I hear that?
Yeah, you do, because the three of you have been kind of
Is there a way to make a check just to make sure I trust him still?
Yeah, there certainly is. Give me a cunning check, if you would.
Lovely. Let's see. It is an 11 out of 10. So yes, I do.
Yeah, this guy is the most trustworthy dude you've ever met. So
This seems legitimate.
so Gadramon just kind of looks towards both of you. Kovaan, if you would like to as well, make that check if you wish.
What am I rolling against again?
Cunning check, just straight cunning.
Hokey smokes! I rolled a 2. So
Okay,
let's go.
so yeah, looking at this guy as he's speaking to you, you believe he's being straightforward. He just wants to get a closer look. You don't think he's going there to do anything evil or dark. He's just more so curiosity at this point.
So Keen already heard. How close are we to the rest of the people? Aggie, Laerke, and Nrobso.
You're probably about 20 or so feet behind them at this point. You're kind of like keeping just behind the main group as they're kind of working their way clearing out these creatures.
So yeah, I look at Keen. I guess we should tell our party to get us all on the same page, so Gadramon can take a look at this well. And I look at Gadramon. I'm guessing this is the well kind of look.
Yeah, and what you all realize too is directly down the street where this hole has appeared, you all know that it's this place where the fern once stood.
Oh.
It has completely sunken down into the ground. The fern is no longer there. And at this point, Gadramon just kind of looks towards all of you, and he kind of books it off to the right-hand side, ducking into some alleyways, and just disappears into the dust. While straight ahead of you, climbing over the barricade, you see these 7 creatures that are now standing before you. The sinkhole just beyond the barricade, behind where they just emerged from. And it's at that point, I will show you all what you're seeing right now. So, got the barricade back here. These creatures have just all clambered over it, and the 5 of you are approaching from down in this area here. So with that, we will go to the top of the round with Nrobso. Action from you as you see these 7 creatures now standing before you.
First, I just want to say that lighting looks so great. That is absolutely reading a sunset. That looks amazing. Yeah, so I look at Aggie and I look at Laerke and I say, Laerke, protect Aggie. That one. And I point to the big chieftain looking one. It's time to play Trim the Thistle. And real quick for clarity, a scene is what we're in right now, right? The entirety of this fight scene is
Right.
It's not each top of the round is a new scene, or is it once we finish, that's the scene?
Correct. It's the entire scene. Yeah, it's not just every round's not a scene. It's
Okay.
the whole battle.
Okay, I needed to know for one of my abilities. All right, in that case,
Perfect.
I whip out my 2 axes and I straight charge in, and I'm running like Naruto style arms at the back, zigzagging through to get to the big one. And
Okay.
I'm just going for like a typical slash.
Okay, so there's a bit of distance between you, so you would have to use your action to basically double dash if you want to try to close that distance between the two of you.
If I do that, does that take out my attack if I'm
It
using a
does,
double
yes.
action? Then I will stand right there, half the distance.
Okay.
And
All right.
and those two behind me, those are guards on our side, right?
Are these two back here?
Yeah.
This is you've got Kovaan and Laerke. Actually, Kovaan, I'm going to put you a little bit farther back.
Okay.
So you have Laerke right here beside you, and then you also have Aggie as well up in this area with you.
Cool. In that case, then yeah, I'm stepping forward, and I'm just at the ready, holding my action for the one that approaches first.
Okay, perfect. And next up, it's going to be Aggie. What would you like to do?
Upon seeing this, Aggie hollers at Nrobso. It was like, Nrobso! It
Yes.
seems like you will need this more than I. And she, I don't know what the hell happened to the voice there, but she whips out a vial and slashes some poison on your stuff, and it says it's a free action for me to do that.
Mhm.
Does that mean I can do it on it says as a free action I can apply 1 dose of poison to or any other whatever to a weapon? Can I use my free action and my action to apply to both of Nrobso's weapons?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. Then that's what Aggie does. Aggie dump. And we're good.
All right. Are you staying up here near Nrobso, or do you want to try to move?
No, we're backing back up.
Backing back up. Okay. Do you want to kind of move towards this large building here, or any other specific direction?
It is very clear that the monsters are originating from this central point, right?
From back in this area here, correct? Yeah.
Stunning. Then yes, Aggie will absolutely do what she can to go over and take some cover near a building.
Okay, perfect. So we'll kind of scoot you back that way. Excellent. Okay. And next up, we've got Laerke. What would you like to do?
Well, my first instinct was to move Aggie, but she seems to be moving okay on her own. I think Laerke is going to continue to keep herself between Aggie and the monsters, and is going to be following Nrobso's lead this time around.
Okay, so you're going to kind of move over here, position yourself between Nrobso, Aggie, and the creatures then?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Next up, it's all the creatures. So, you've got the two kind of with the silver collars as they just kind of almost getting down on all fours, begin charging towards you all. Yeah. Making that about halfway. This one's going to use its full movement to get all the way up onto you, Nrobso. This creature back here, one of the more humanoid ones with the flesh still attached, begins climbing up onto this building, and almost looks like it's looking at the doors, getting ready to break through. The other two are just going to continue to move upward, as the largest one is just kind of staying in the back, looking like he's just shouting out commands towards the others. And with that, Nrobso, you're holding your attack. You have one directly in front of you. What would you like to do?
Would use my Axe Artist ability, and that causes distracting pain upon a thrust with a D6.
Okay.
You want me to roll for attack, right?
Yep, an accurate roll, please. And you'll have a +5 to this.
That's a 3 for 19.
Yep, that'll definitely hit.
And then for as far as the It says thrust D6 and then stun equals accurate against resolution or resolute.
Gotcha.
You want
Okay,
me,
so
you want me to do the damage first and then see if I can stun it?
yeah, yep, perfect.
Okay. Damage is on. Oh, come here. Damage of 3.
3 points damage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, I apologize. What was the stun?
It was accurate versus resolute. So I guess
Okay,
that
yeah,
would
these
be
things are not
high.
very resolute, so you'll have a +3 to your accurate score here.
Okay. Three be 17 over 17 over 17.
Okay, perfect. Yep, that'll still work.
So now that one is stunned, which allows me to do another free attack or a free attack. So yeah, I'm just using my axe. After I jabbed it once with the back end of my axe, I'm flipping it around to slash it across his chest.
Okay.
And that was a free attack, so I don't need to roll accurate, right?
You still have to roll the accurate to hit it.
Oh, okay.
Although because it's stunned,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an additional +2, so you'll have a +7 basically to your base score.
Okay. Oh, no worry. There's. Oh, there was some worry there. With that +7, it brings it to a 21, and I got a 20 on the die.
So you're good there. So go ahead and roll the damage on that, and then don't forget the poison damage as well from your axe.
Oh yeah. So let me roll first. Okay, what is the poison damage?
It's either D4 or D6, I believe.
Well, first I need to make a cunning versus strong test to see if it takes effect.
Perfect. So this thing's strong. It's just gonna be a straight roll for you.
That is a 4 out of 15 for me.
Yep. So that poison will definitely take effect there.
Mm-hmm. And then let me see here. I believe it's a D4 because it's a baby poison. That's all I can make right now, and that's 1 damage.
1 more point of damage there. Okay.
Not to worry.
I do believe that it repeats.
Whoa. So you said that's 1 point of damage.
Plus your axe damage on top of that.
That's my axe damage. That's so 9.
9 total?
Yeah.
All right. So as you slash through this thing, stunning it and bringing your axe back across his chest, how do you take this guy out in just one quick, clean?
So he approaches and I'm like, not today. And I jam it. And then I just spin the axe around clean across his head, since you're saying I'm taking this thing out. Slice. And it just, topples down to the ground.
All right. So that guy gone. Perfect. Okay, that was all there go. And then we are now on to Kovaan. What would you like to do?
All right, so this time I'm gonna do same power, Entangling Vines. For each one that is successful, I can keep continuing. As soon as I fail, then getting multiple enemies stops. So I'm gonna go for the one that would be straight in front of Laerke. I'll do that one first.
Perfect.
And there's no modifier, right?
Because this is a resolute versus they're trying to move out of it. Okay, so yeah, it's just a straight roll for you.
And of course, on this one, yeah, I failed.
Oh no!
19 out of 16.
Oh,
it's like, really?
So you see Kovaan reaching out, gathering all of this arcane energy as these vines begin to come up, but then they just kind of fizzle out as Kovaan, you kind of step on like this really sharp rock, distracting you for a moment. You just gotta fuck shit with this. Oh, and just lose.
I screwed up. I should have did the Totoro thing.
All right, next up, Kin.
All right, and just to clarify, the one that Nrobso killed, can you remind me which one that is?
It was one of the ones with the collars that was directly in front of him right here.
So the big one is still active.
Correct. The big one is still hanging out back here. You might not be able to see him. Kind of move him over a little bit.
Oh, I can't really see that one.
Now, you can. Keen can see him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to attempt to bend Will, since he is humanoid.
Okay.
It is a resolute versus resolute check.
Resolute versus resolute. Okay. So this creature is pretty damn talented with the arcane and the resolute. So you were gonna have a -3 to your base attribute for this.
Okay. I understand. So normally my resolute is a 15, so that's going to take it down to a 12, and I rolled a 4.
Okay, so it still succeeds. So describe what it looks like as you're trying to bend this creature's will.
So for a second there, the creature is just looming in the distance, and it almost looks like this swirling black and white cloud goes into his mouth, and his eyes for 1 second glaze over with that type of light.
Excellent. And if you could please remind me what Ben Will does exactly.
He is controlled by me. That's considered active until the mystic breaks concentration or fails a resolute versus resolute test. The controlled creature can only perform one action each turn and cannot use any active abilities or powers while effective.
Damn. Okay, so you basically get to choose its action until you fail your concentration check. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Does it say if it kicks in, if you're immediately able to control it, or does it have to happen on its next turn? Does it specify?
Ooh, let's see. I am not sure that it does.
Okay. I'm going to say it'll happen on his next turn.
Okay, that's fine.
Moving in. Perfect. So he is now under your control, bringing us back to the top of the round with Nrobso. What would you like to do?
There's one with that's close to the stairs. Can you remind me what that one is without a collar?
This one here has a collar on.
And so do the other ones right in front of me?
These two here do not.
Oh.
So you have one with a collar, 3 without a collar, and then the big dude in the back here.
Then I'm running up the stairs to get the one that's on the balcony.
That climbed up here? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So easy enough. You make your way up here. Now face to face with that creature there.
And then same thing. My axe artist ability going for a stun with the short end of the axe.
Okay, perfect.
And is anything added on for my accurate?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is anything added on for my accurate? Like, is there a plus
your accurate versus? No, it's just gonna be a straight roll for you.
Okay.
Oh wait, the stun was that versus is resolute, I believe.
No, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Okay,
this is just to see if I land. Yeah. 3 out of 14.
3 out of 14. Yeah, that will definitely work. Let's go ahead and roll the damage for that.
Damage of 5.
5 points. Okay.
And now it's accurate versus resolute.
Okay, perfect. So no modifier for the resolutes, just a straight roll for you there.
11 for 14.
Yep, that'll work. Go ahead and roll the damage on that.
And that is... Oh, wait. Which one is this one? Nope, not this one. This one. I am lost. Hold on. Oh, there it is.
You're good.
That is 7. 7 for
7
damage.
points. All right, excellent. And then I believe we have some poison on that weapon.
We do. So that'll be a total of 8.
8 there. Okay. How do you want to dispatch this creature?
Sweet. So as I run up, it's another jam right in the throat, and it kind of like it grabs his throat and kind of coughs like and then flick the axe straight down right in the middle.
All right. Knocking it into its throat, it kind of falls back stunned for just a brief moment. You see your opportunity to split this creature's skull right in half, and it just falls over dead. And getting a closer look at this, you can see that this one actually is still fairly human compared to the other, the beasts with the collars on. You see that this individual actually still has a lot of its human skin on, with just a little bit of corruption piercing through a couple of different areas. That one is now lifeless at your feet. And we will move on to Aggie.
Okay. Okay, well, seeing how easily Nrobso just took out that guy, I think Aggie's gonna go up to Laerke.
Okay.
And I don't want to be like, and all of those guys are pretty close by, right?
Correct, yeah.
All right, then Aggie is going to put some poison on her own dagger. And she is going to hold her action and stay very, very, very close to Laerke. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, we will move on then to Laerke. It is your go.
Is Aggie following her? Because I was gonna have her rush up and take out the one right directly, not the collared one, the one in the center.
Aggie would be at your back.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take out that one, right? I'm gonna go straight for the one in the center, because I believe that's the closest one to us.
Correct.
And I'm just going to twin attack. So twin attacks, 2 separate attacks that they can defend against separately if they like.
Perfect. So you will have a +3 to your base roll here.
All right. Should I just roll both attacks?
Yeah, go ahead and roll them both there.
Okay. A 2 and a 4. So both hit.
Yep, both of those will work. Go ahead and roll the damage on those.
Oh shit, throwing dice on the floor. The first one is a 9 with the crow's beak.
Okay.
And the second one is a 4 with the battle claw.
Okay. So you go running through, taking your crow's beak, you kind of punch it right into this creature's chest. And as you approach, you see this individual is actually wearing some really thick, like leather hide on. Your crow's beak pierces through, and you pull back, and as you try to go with your claws just kind of scrape through the outside of it, and not quite making any type of connection with the creature itself. With that, though, it is now their go. And this creature, now that you're directly in front of, is going to retaliate. So go ahead and make me a defense roll, but your defense is going to have a -5.
So my defense is a 13, so it would be an 8.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, well, I got an 18.
Ooh, so close. Okay, go ahead and roll your armor's defense on that.
Okay. 3 + 1, 4.
4 points. Okay. So same thing with this creature. You see this large protruding bone coming out of its arm as it just stabs, uppercutting right below your rib cage. So you take 2 points of piercing damage as this thing begins to sink in. And as its bone is up in your chest cavity, you begin feeling like this burning sensation. And you take 2 points of poison damage as well. As it rears back, you see just poison dripping off the end of this creature's claw. Next up is going to be the one that's currently next to it. Seeing Laerke is also going to rush up towards you, Laerke.
Hey, come on, boy. Bring it.
Same thing, bone claws out. You get another defense roll at a -5.
I got an 18 again.
Ooh, painful. Go ahead and roll the protection on your armor.
Alright. It's fine. 7.
7, okay. Excellent. So this creature, it goes to stab in and it just hits like one of the heaviest parts of your armor. Now, do you wear like chainmail or plate, or what kind of armor do you wear?
Double chainmail.
Double chainmail. So yeah, this creature's as its claw begins to kind of pierce in, you just hear it scraping against your chainmail, and luckily your chainmail is holding steady and it doesn't actually pierce all the way through. So you're safe from that one. Next up is going to be this one here with the collar on. It begins following Nrobso up this direction here. It is going to make an attack towards you. So Nrobso, give me a defense roll, just at a -1 though.
Oh, defense roll. Oh, sorry. Let me just hold that one there.
You're good.
Nat 1.
Damn. Okay. So yeah, as this creature comes to swipe down towards you, what does it look like as you're able to quickly dodge out of the way of this thing?
I roll right between its legs, if that's the thing that I can do.
Yeah, definitely. So also you kind of roll underneath it. Now you're kind of swapping positions to where you're now behind it. That is its go. Keen, what would you like the big guy to do?
And you said there's one on Laerke.
There's
there's
two
some
currently
engaged.
on
Okay.
Laerke.
Which one looks the most hurt?
The one directly in front of her.
Okay, it would be such a shame if someone just hit it really hard. And underneath my cloak, like my fingers are almost going to start doing things like a marionette puppet is attached to my hand, and it's going to go full throttle and attack that one.
Okay, so it comes charging up behind Laerke. You see this large humanoid beast just come running up with this giant axe, raising it up. You think it's going to swing towards you, but instead it comes down on its little friend there. So go ahead and Keen, give me an accurate roll.
For me?
This is going to be, just tell me what the number is.
Okay.
Yeah.
14.
14, okay. And that's going to be against this creature's defense here. So yeah, that will definitely hit. So it's going to immediately take... damn. Okay, a fair amount of damage. Now with that, do you want to knock this creature over or take another attack towards it?
I would be delighted as I'm twiddling my marionette fingers to make it swing again.
Okay, give me another accurate roll. Or just another d20 roll, sorry.
Okay, that is less great. That is a 19.
19, okay. So unfortunately, after that first swing comes down, the creature now notices what's happening, is able to dodge out of the way of the second attack. Now at this point, I need you to give me another resolute check here at a -3 to see if you can maintain control.
That is a 2 out of you said -3?
Correct.
So that'd be a 2 out of 12.
Yeah. So you're still maintaining control on this creature.
I'm very resolute. I knew that was my spellcasting mod.
Huh. All right, and we are back to so Aggie, with your holding your action, you actually get to go at the end of initiative. It's how it's written. So would you like to do anything at this time?
How fucked up does Laerke look?
Laerke, how bad are you looking right now?
I'm chill. Don't even worry about it.
Stunning. Nrobso, you good?
Nrobso's all good.
Yeah, I've got like 20 HP, y'all. Like, I'm fine. Don't even trip, dog.
Lurk says, don't even. We're good. Okay. In that case, how does this dude next to Laerke look?
The one directly in front that's sandwiched in between them looks fucked up. The one over here to the right is looking pretty okay still.
Okay. Aggie is going to try to come up right next to Laerke.
Okay.
Other side. Uh-huh. Yep. And no. And stabby stab that bitch who's not looking like they're doing too good.
Okay. Give me that beautiful roll.
And is it modified by anything before we roll it?
You get a +3 to your base attribute here.
Stunning. Oh, and of course now it doesn't matter because it's a 2.
Okay, yeah, that definitely works. Go ahead and roll the damage on that.
Stunning. So my stiletto has the deep impact attribute, which and I rolled max damage for a 6.
Oof. Okay.
And deep impact, I believe, means that I ignore protection value, right?
I believe so. Yeah, because it pierces through deeper than a normal dagger. So yeah,
it impacts you deeply.
Okay, so that was 6, you said?
Like a good movie, yes.
All right, and with that, you see this creature just shriek out in pain, begin stumbling. You've got a moment to either knock it down or go again. What are you doing?
Oh, well, now the poison takes effect.
Oh, even better.
So, does an 8 on the die, 8 out of 15 for the resolute, or for the cunning check for the poison?
Oh, yeah.
Stunning. And it does, this is for damage, it does 4 damage.
All right. How does it look as this creature falls?
Yeah, you just see Aggie come and like just casually walk up with her quarterstaff. You don't even see a blade. And she like walks up and she's like grasping at her vials as she comes up to Laerke's side, and then just suddenly from her pocket or from her cloak, she pulls out this dagger and just sticks this dude in the side. And the initial, damn, I rolled double max damage on that. That was real hot. And the initial wound is deep. It's not fun. It doesn't look fun. And he looks like he's gonna survive it. But then a split second later, he just starts screaming out in pain as he grasps and clutches at his side and starts scraping at it, trying to remove as his inside, as he just burns from the inside out, and then he dies.
Beautiful. I love it. All right. And just like that, Laerke, you see this creature shrieking, digging, pulling off its own flesh before toppling over before you. With that, we are back to the top with Nrobso. What would you like to do?
GM Nate, did I get skipped?
I apologize. Yes, you should have gone before Keen. Yes.
No worries. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of dust my hands off and try this again.
Yep, for sure.
I'm gonna go for the one next to Laerke first on the right.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I try to grasp with both hands, and you see little sprouts come up by its feet, and then they shrivel back into the earth.
Oh no!
Because I rolled a 19 again. So thank you very much.
Oh man, your arcane powers are just not with you today.
Insert tiny violins sound effect.
Okay. Now we are back to the top with Nrobso.
So I'm gonna take my axe and like jam it deep with the also deep impact quality in the back of this, the one that's not facing me. Like I just jump on his back and plumage my right into his spine. But I also want to roll backwards and catapult it over the balcony back to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me your accurate roll here first for your attack.
Are you also using the axe that still has poison on it?
Oh, you bet your bottom dollar I am.
And you got a +5 to this roll too, by the way.
11 for 19.
Yeah, that'll work.
And the damage, we're looking at 5. That's adding the poison to that. Poison plus
the poison definitely takes effect, and the poison is 3 damage.
Oh.
3 damage for 4 rounds.
Oh.
All right, so you stab into this creature's back, your axe just tearing through the muscle fibers. You feel almost kind of hook onto a bone in the back of this creature as you sit down and roll and flip it up over the balcony. And down on the ground, Aggie and Laerke, you two especially, just see this massive corpse come flying off the balcony and just slam into the cobblestone.
Oh, it's a corpse now.
Completely lit. It's a corpse. It is gone. All right. With that, Aggie, it is your go. You have this one large creature before you, and you have one more of these other more humanoids on the other side of Laerke. What would you like to do?
Aggie's feeling successful.
Oh no.
Which can sometimes be a dangerous feeling to feel. And Aggie is going to try and roll up on this other dude by going around the back of Laerke again.
Okay.
Do I get any pluses to that?
Yeah, you get a +3.
You sure it's not a +4?
I'm positive it's just a +3.
God damn it, because I rolled a 19!
Oh, so painful. Hate to see it. So, you go to stab, and unfortunately this creature sees you come and is able to just quickly dodge out of the way of your dagger.
The feelings of success fail me once again. Great. And I'm engaged now, which means that if I walk away, that's a bad thing.
Maybe.
Yep. I guess I'm here now.
All right. And at this time, you all hear more claws on cobblestone. You hear more shrieking, more people shouting and screaming. As kind of through this back building here, the front door flies open. You see more of these creatures come pouring through.
Oh no, that's not what's supposed to happen.
Next up, though, we've got Laerke.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, she's just gonna turn. Well, see, the last thing that she saw was a giant axe come down right in front of her, missing the other guy. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack the one to my right.
Okay.
And if possible, I'd like to put myself between it and Aggie.
From how you're positioned, you can't quite do that because Aggie moved right up into this thing's range. So unfortunately, you can't put yourself in between the two of them.
Okay.
That was my bee, not yours. Don't worry about it. It's called actions meeting consequences.
It's cool.
You get a +3 to this attack roll, though.
Okay, double twin attack.
Okay, perfect.
And a 19. So the D8 hits, the D6 just misses.
Okay, go ahead and roll that D8 damage.
So the crow beak D8 damage does 5.
5 points. Okay. And yeah, this one here, also wearing that same thick leather armor. You feel your crow's beak kind of tear into it ever so slightly, and it winces in pain for just a split second, but it doesn't quite look like it connected all the way through. And at this point, it is their go. So the creature that just got attacked by you, Laerke, is going to retaliate while these others come pouring out. This one here begins climbing up the side of this balcony, is now directly in front of you, Nrobso. And these other two just continue moving outwards. This one here begins moving over towards this building, and this one just charging forward here. So the one directly against you, Laerke, is going to make an attack. So go ahead and give me a defense roll at a -5.
-5. It's going to hit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your protection then on your armor.
3.
3. Okay, so once again, this massive bone claw comes piercing. This one actually making its way through your chainmail up into you. You take 3 points of damage.
And as that happens, I think that only Aggie can see this at this point, but you start to see these like black veins creeping out across Laerke's arms.
Yeah, this creature just pulls its claw back out. Next one up against you, Nrobso. Give me a defense roll at a -5.
That's a 20.
Okay, go ahead and roll your armor protection on that one.
3.
3. Okay, so same thing. This giant bone claw comes crashing down towards you, piercing into your shoulder and down into your chest cavity. You take 3 points of damage. And as it's stuck down in there, you begin to feel a burning sensation. You take an additional 2 points of poison damage. As this creature reels back, and you see that same just nasty green slime just dripping off of its bone. Keen, what would you like to have the big guy do at this point?
All right, so there are new enemies, and there's still one on Laerke, right?
Correct.
So I'm trying to look. Does it seem like the other ones are already approaching her as well?
From what you can tell, they both seem kind of distracted, more so heading off towards the buildings.
Okay, I'm going to fight the one that's at Laerke then.
Okay. So moving up here towards the one. Perfect. Give me an attack roll.
All right.
So
11.
Okay, yep, that'll work. So go ahead and That's going to be a lot of damage there. So yeah, with that, you've got a moment in between where you can knock it down or swing again. What are you doing?
I'm gonna swing again.
Okay, so roll that d20 one more time for me.
Really? My second roll was a 19 again. Again. Second roll, 19. No,
Ooh.
fantastic. It's fine. I keep choosing wrong. It's trying to tell me to knock it down.
So again, with that second swing, it's able to dodge out of the way. Next up, we will not skip Kovaan. Kovaan, it is your go. What would you like to do?
All right, so this time I kind of concentrate on growing up and everything that gave us strength in the forest, and I'm gonna try it again. Seems like the one in front of Laerke's kind of handled. So the first one I'm gonna go after is the one that Nrobso is facing.
Okay, so up here on the balcony, so I will say you'll have to kind of move over ever so slightly just to get that line of sight on him, but you can still hang far enough back.
No modifier, positive or negative, correct?
Correct. Yep. Just straight roll for you.
You got to be kidding me. So I look up Nrobso. I'm like, I got you, and I concentrate, and 17 out of 16.
Oh, so close.
We're at least we're moving in the right direction.
Right? Put that one in dice jail. All right.
No, those are 3 different dice.
Even better. All right. Ken, are you maintaining concentration or are you doing something different?
I will maintain concentration. While I'm doing that, is there any way that I can try to suss out what's going on around us? Or just straight concentrate?
Yes, go ahead and give me that resolute check first.
Oh, man. Well, I'm pleased to inform everyone that it is a nat 20 for my resolute check on him.
Perfect. So you all see Keen kind of trying to hold this creature's will. Unfortunately, this creature just, from what you can see, Aggie and Laerke especially, this creature is just getting pissed and raging. And you see that energy come pouring out of its mouth. And you see its eyes kind of not so foggy anymore as he blinks. And there's more clarity to him. Looking down towards the group now. So yeah, go ahead and give me a vigilance check again.
Great. No, that's fine. That's a 19. It's over for me.
All right. You are just in the thick of it right now.
Right.
Top of the round. Nrobso, what are we doing?
Oh, I'm taking out the one that just stabbed me. So I'm grabbing both my axe and the bone dagger, and I'm going for a twin attack.
Okay.
So first one is like a slash with my axe across the this thing's face, whether it's going in or not. I feel like it's a slash. It's just like trying to cut it as deep as I can.
Okay. So you'll have a +3 to this attack.
Okay. +3. I missed. That's 18. 18
Ooh.
for 17.
All right. First attack misses. As you go to swing, it just kind of ducks backward.
And then I'm lunging with a thrust to stab the bone dagger right in his chest.
Okay.
And that is a 6 over 17.
Yep, that'll definitely work. Go and roll damage on that.
That is 3.
3 points of damage. Okay. So yeah, you get a square shot. It just kind of barely begins to kind of pierce through its cheek before it kind of reels its head back, but took a little bit of damage off that. Moving on to Aggie. It is your go.
Well, Aggie's engaged.
Mm-hmm.
So Aggie is gonna pop some more poison on her dagger and try and give another stabby stab.
Yeah,
How-
give us that attack roll.
How does this dude, or sorry, real quick, how does this dude look in front of me? He looks fine, right?
He's pretty roughed up.
Okay, then. I'm
What's
not going to put the poison on the dagger. Sorry, Nrobso. Go ahead.
Was that you said 4 rounds of poison on my axe?
Oh yeah, four
mean-
rounds of poison, 4 rounds of 3 poison damage on
I mean,
that one
I
dude.
missed it. Nah, I missed it, but I just want to keep track.
Well, the attack that you hit, it like
On the
the
bone
poison
one
is
too?
inside the poison is inside of him, making him suffer over the long term.
Then that's another 3 on top of the 3 that I did.
Yeah, so he takes another 3 poison damage this round.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, the poison, until I level up my poisoner ability one more, the poison only lasts for 1 attack on the weapon. But then, yeah, I roll 2d4, one of them to determine the damage and the other one to determine how long it does the damage.
Got it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so then with that, Nrobso, you have a moment where you can either knock this creature down or make another attack towards it.
Hey!
I'm going for another attack.
Okay, go ahead and make that attack roll. +3 to it.
At 11 for 17.
Yep, that'll work. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 5 for damage. And I'm using my axe. So essentially the move is like I missed with the first one, and then I stabbed it with the bone, but that miss is carrying that other hit around to come back around to slash it again. So that was 4, which would be 5 plus my deep impact plus the
Plus the poison.
attack. 8.
8 damage. All right, how do you destroy this one up here, Nrobso?
So out of sheer rage of getting that bone into my clavicle, essentially, let me describe it again. So I'm going for a slash across his face, and it, ducks back, and I miss. But as it's going backwards, I lunge forward and I jam it right into its side with the bone dagger. And once it feels that pain and that poison, I come back down across its chest to slash it, and it just spins around and topples back down on the balcony floor, not the floor.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, with that, it just does a quick little 180 spin, blood just shooting out of its chest cavity, falls over dead before you. All right, perfect. All right, excellent. So that's done there. And then Aggie, we were on with you.
Aggie is actually not going to put poison on the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to save it because it's her last vial. But she is going to stabby stab successfully
Okay,
for a 2 out of 15.
perfect. Yeah, that'll definitely work.
And 2 dagger damage with the deep impact.
Okay.
And I think that is all that she can do.
Well, with that stab, you have that moment in between where you can stab again or knock it prone. What are you doing?
I shall stabby stab again.
Perfect. Do it to it.
Do we have modifiers to this, by the way?
With the second attack, yeah, it would be the +3 still.
Stunning. Doesn't matter. It's still successful. And that is a 6 on the die.
All right.
The
With
max-
that second
max damage.
stab, how do you take this creature out?
Yeah, Aggie is now like feeling in the she is understanding, reacclimating to the ebb and flow of combat. And yeah, she doesn't she missed last round, right? Yes.
Yeah.
She doesn't take it too bad that she missed, and instead she just kind of goes with the flow like Nrobso just did, and uses it to carry her momentum into another nice little stabby stab in a different spot, which makes the dude go ow and double over in pain, which opens up another stabby stab spot, which I stabby stab him in.
All the stabby stabs as he doubles over, bleeding out from all of his stab wound. Perfect.
Yes.
All right, that creature is no longer there. Next up, we have Laerke. You got the big fella in front of you, and then you have the two other little collared ones that ran off to either side.
So in the last round when Laerke got attacked, these black veins started appearing all across her body, and everywhere that she has a bleeding stab wound, the blood has started to get really dark and coagulated, and it almost looks extremely sticky, like jelly. And she's tunnel vision, going after the big guy.
Alrighty.
She has entered into blood combat mode, which means she gets to a second chance on all attack rolls and an extra D8 damage on every hit.
Fucking Wrathguard, man. Love it.
The first attack is a natural 1, and the second attack will also succeed at a 7.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and roll the damage on those attacks.
So does the extra D8 also get doubled?
No, so it's my regular attack roll, and then I get an additional D8 on top of the D8 and an additional D8 on top of the D6. So the first hit is 10 damage.
I'm asking about for your crit.
Oh, for the 1, I got a crit.
Yeah, for the nat 1.
Is that 20 damage?
Yeah, does that double all the die or just double the weapon damage die?
That would just double just the weapon damage.
Okay,
cool.
So that'll be 16 damage on the first hit.
Still 3d8 worth of damage. That's
So-
still hot.
Even with this creature's armor, Laerke, as you are just entering into this blood-soaked rage, taking your weapon with this one hit, where are you hitting this thing? Because it's enough to just take him out in one damn blow.
Well, I think she's just gonna go for the cleave across the right here where the shoulder and the neck join, and just do like a jump up, come down, super high energy.
And you're using your hammer for this, correct?
Yeah, the crow's beak.
All right. So yeah, with that, you take the sharp end, jumping up, putting so much force down that you just hit every artery and vein in this creature's neck and shoulder, and it just begins just a fountain of blood and ichor spurting out of this thing as it shrieks out and falls over before you. So this creature had regeneration, but it doesn't get to use that since you just took it out in one damn blow.
And I mean, just for flavor's sake, I did roll a 4 on the claw, so she's basically just like, bap.
Gosh,
Double tap, make sure he's dead.
that was disgusting.
You say disgusting, I say attractive.
Oh my gosh. All right, Laerke, that's your go. You have the two creatures that are still on either side, moving off towards the buildings. And as they kind of get over towards this building here, you guys see the front door get kicked open as this individual with just this super long sword standing there in this pristine, beautiful white armor steps through. And he is now face to face with this individual. For those of you who want to, as you see this happening, if you want to give me a cunning check, you certainly may.
All of us?
Yeah, all of you who are looking in this direction and seeing this happening.
Fail.
Shockingly, that's a fail.
Fail.
9 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm looking at my hands still.
Okay.
That's a fail.
Laerke, did you, what was
Fail.
yours?
Fail.
So I think Keen was the only one with a success here. So as this individual steps through in this armor, you immediately recognize this individual as a Templar. Stepping through. And this creature's now face to face, and this creature's going to go after the Templar here. So if Keen, since you're the one that saw this, if you could roll me a d20.
Okay. 7.
7, okay. Yeah, so that creature is not going to pierce through this Templar's armor whatsoever. And the other creature, now seeing what's happening, is also going to make its way over, surrounding this individual. Go ahead and roll me another d20 if you would, Keen.
That one's a 9.
That's a 9. Still not going to pierce through. Okay. With that, we will move over towards the Templars go. So now with his attacks, Keen, if you could roll me a d20 once more.
All right, and that one is a 6.
D6, okay. Which that should definitely work. Okay, apologies. Okay, so now go ahead, and with that, that's just gonna get straight 6 points of damage to this creature. Okay. So you see him step out. These creatures both go into attack him, not piercing through his armor. He just takes his sword, he gets one good clean swing across one of them. Its belly just kind of splits open as it's doubling over in pain, but still standing. With that, we are on to Kovaan. It is your go.
All right, so you look over if anybody has free time. You notice I'm flipping through this little pocket book, like turning pages and looking at and kind of squinting his eyes and stuff. And he looks up and then he's going to try it on the one that's closest, the Entangling Vine again. And holy shit, I checked my notes and it actually works. 3 out of 16 on the Resolute check.
All right, so you have one of them entangled.
Yeah, so with that success, I'm going to go for number 2.
Okay.
I'm going to use the same dice. And hey, same dice works. 10 out of 16. So I get them both. So I'm looking over and I'm reading through my book and yeah, I'm like, okay, there we go. I got this. And they're both entangled.
All right, so those two are held in place currently. Ken, it is your go. You're muted.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and fire a storm arrow.
Okay.
Is there still one on Laerke?
There's none on Laerke. There's 2 entangled right in front of this Templar.
Yeah, I'm going to hit one of the ones by the Templar.
Okay, yep, go ahead and that's an auto hit, so go and roll the damage on that.
1.
1 point of
Respectable.
damage.
Very respectable.
That is still 1 point. All right. Next up, we will go up to the top with Nrobso. What are we doing?
I dropped down right off the balcony for my first movement.
Give me a quick check here. See how nicely you can land.
That is a 10 for 15.
Okay, perfect. So, yep, you land very gracefully onto the ground. You've got these 2 in front of you tangled up in vines. You see this very tall ambient individual dressed in this beautiful, pristine armor. It looks heavy. It looks expensive. What are you doing?
I'm looking at him. And first I go, nice job, Kovaan. And then I look at him and I say, you do not show up to get our victory. And I jump up for a twin attack on, twin attack, 1 attack on the first one.
Okay.
It's right in front of me. And Is there any? What's the add-ons to that?
You'll have a +5 to this since it's got it's not super armored and it's currently held in place and cannot move.
Well, that is a nat 1.
Okay, so you don't even have to roll because it's so battered and beat up already. The max damage being doubled and everything. How do you dispatch this one as it's kind of held in place?
So this one's more of at an angle, that slash, because I'm using the momentum for my first attack, the twin attack, to slash down, and then to spin around and jam my axe in the back of the next one.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll for that second one.
10 for, you said 5? Oh, it's a 10. It's a success.
Yep.
And then that attack is 2 + 1. That's 3.
3 points of damage. All right, perfect. So yeah, slashing into that second one, it shrieks out in pain, trying to pull away from these vines, but not getting far. Aggie, it is your go.
All right. There's only the one dude left, right?
Correct. Yeah, he's currently entangled. You got a Templar in front of him. You got Nrobso on the other side of it.
Great.
It's got nowhere to go.
I shall go for the backstab.
Okay. Moving on up. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. You'll have a +5 to this as well.
That is a success.
Okay.
For 4 damage. And how bad does he look?
He's pretty roughed up. He is still standing. However, with that attack, you've got that moment in between. I'll say because it's entangled up, you can't knock it prone. But if you want to take that extra attack against it, go for it.
Yes. That hits for 5 damage.
5 damage. And how do you take this last one out?
Yeah. I'm really feeling what Nrobso says about, like, dude, the hell, you're just gonna show up here at the end? Like, what the fuck? Like, we did all the dirty work, and you're walking up here with your nice, clean-ass armor. So I literally just imagine, like, Aggie calmly walking up behind this entangled monster while our ally is, like, holding it in place, and she's just gonna hobble up and just go shank, shank. And then as the monster falls limp and is, like, being held up by these vines, she's just gonna poke out from behind the monster at the Templar and be like, hello. A bit late to the party, are we? And that's her turn.
Okay. So with that, you are all officially out of combat as you have demolished about 12 or 13 of these freaking monsters that came crawling out of this hole. You are all in these streets. You still hear the sounds of fighting going on beyond the barrier, beyond these buildings that you're nearby, the dust still filling the air around you. But as it stands, you have a moment to breathe, as before you stands this Templar. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up today's game. So, thank you all so much to our wonderful viewers. Thank you for hanging out with us for this session. Thank you to my players for joining me. Once again, you're all absolutely fantastic. So once again, real quick, thank you to Free League for this wonderful working partnership. Thank you to the Initiative Order creative team for helping making this game possible. Thank you, Danny, for running tech for us today. And once again, we'll go back around the room, plug yourselves, plug your upcoming projects. Let's go the other way this time. Let's start off with Keith.
Thanks for coming by, everybody. Yeah, looked at a hairy for a little bit. You can find me on IG again. I am not Kevin Bacon, but next week on TIO, we have our finale of our show, Evermore Tales. So if you're free, stop on by.
Perfect. All right. Christine, please.
Hey everybody, I'm Christine and I play Laerke, the retired Wrath Guard. You can find me here on Twitch at slumberjane.ttv.
All righty. Thank you so much. And we'll move on to Kelsey, please.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'm Tombs and Tomes on social media. So if you like books and tabletop role-playing games, let's be friends.
Excellent. And Coral.
Hello, my name is Coral Reefer. You can find me at twitch.tv/queerventuretime. I am there 5 days a week. We are getting serious about the streaming thing. And we're damn serious about having fun.
And last but certainly not least, our resident little barbarian goblin man, Mr. Lee Royal.
Hello. It is Lee Royal on social media as Royalty No Why. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and here on Twitch. Usually I'll be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday if I can, if I'm not working outside of the normal stuff that I do. And this is the month. I promise I will finally beat Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I feel that I have been diving back into Valhalla, trying to make my way through it. It's such a freaking trek and such a journey, but I love it so much. And I'm Nate. I was your GM for this game. You can find me on Instagram at dungeonmaster_discussions, where I post photos of all my nerdy shit. And we talk about D&D mostly, but also exploring some other TTRPGs here and there. And then you can also find me streaming here with the initiative order normally. Every now and then I'll pop up in different shows on different channels. So, and with that, we do have another show coming up here in about an hour or so. Far Realms, being run by the incredible Valrook. Check it out. Super spooky, super scary, dark energies, all that fun stuff. And tomorrow we also have the continuation of our Fallout TTRPG Vault, being run by the incredible April Hill. So check that out tomorrow if you're free and able to. And as Keith said, next Sunday we've got the continuation of Evermore. So stick around for that as well. So many amazing projects coming up, being run by so many talented individuals. And with that, I'm going to shut up now. We do have another channel we would like to go say hello and raid. So stick around for that, and we will be jumping over there. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you in the next adventure.